Scholars of the Athens Global Round, we are assembled now for the final debate of the season until the TOC. This debate showcase is an opportunity to honor and demonstrate some of the strongest debaters in this community. In a moment, we'll be announcing the names of these debaters, but before we do that, we have a special pre-showcase announcement from the god to my left.
All right, real quick, I need to see the following people. The delegation of Japan, actually they were here. Can I get Hannah from Galaxy International, Uganda? A different Hannah, also from Galaxy. Elena Hash, and also Ibrahim from Froy Bells in Pakistan. Can you guys come down here and see us right now? Thank you.
Does anyone else think that Birch looks like a Pokemon? All right, Izzy, do you want to share a little bit more of what the showcase is about?
All right, you guys, in this showcase, as Daniel briefly mentioned, we will be forming 2 new teams of speakers of 4 speakers each. All of the speakers will come from different schools and different countries. So, as Dan said, this will be an opportunity to showcase some of the talent in the debating community that we have before us. We received many nominations for the debate showcase, and as you probably have figured out, we're not able to call everyone up to the stage to showcase their talent. So we will be calling up some of the highest scoring speakers from yesterday's debates.
In addition to them, our nominees were so many and so strong that we will be bringing up a panel of judges who are among the additional nominees. This panel will determine the outcome of the debate. But while this panel deliberates outside in a secret chamber, what will happen within this room, Joga?
So scholars, while the panelists are deliberating what will likely be a very, very heated and close debate, we will be allowing and opening it up the room for your contributions, for your new ideas, for different perspectives, for anything else that you would like to share. So as the debate goes on, and even before it begins, please discuss with those around you. Think about how you would argue in this debate. And unlike the scholars who are called to the stage, you are not assigned to a particular side. So you can speak as you truly feel about this debate motion. We'll be carrying microphones around the theater, including up in the balcony, and this is open to parents, coaches, teachers. We would love to hear from many of you. So everyone, in a sense, has an opportunity to become involved in this debate showcase. It is truly a community event.
All right, so we will call up an affirmative and a negative team. If you are part of the affirmative, please come to the stage and sit at this table here and bring with you what you'll need for the debate. So I suggest a piece of paper and a pencil to take some notes, and of course your alpaca. And similarly, the negative team will sit here. So,
and scholars, remember all these speakers who are coming up here, they are just like you. They didn't know they were going to be called out until this moment. Show them support, encouragement, and love throughout the debate, no matter how any speech goes.
Because it can be nerve-wracking to stand on a stage in a theater this large, and we want you to know that we understand that. And as a community, we'll support every speaker with equal energy and love. Our first speaker today on the affirmative team joins us from Indonesia, from the Mentari School, Jakarta, Sophia Malika Jojanegoro.
our second speaker on the affirmative team joins us from India, from the Pathway School, Gurgaon. It is Lasya Ramkrishnan.
And our next speaker is from one of the largest delegations at this global round, from Israel, from the Hillel School, Hagar Asaf.
And our final speaker on the affirmative team is from Kenya, from the Braeside High School, Nairobi, Randell Mathigu.
And as your affirmative team joins us on stage, we move to your negative team. The first speaker on the negative team is from right here in Greece, from Kosteas Ketonas School, Urani Moroni.
Now, scholars, Kosteas Ketonas School was our host school for your debates yesterday. Can you all give them a huge round of applause for being our hosts here at the Global Round? Our second speaker on the negative team joins us from Bahrain, from the Philippine School, Bahrain, Prem Baznet.
Our next negative team speaker is from Korea, from North London Collegiate School, Jeju, Leo Man Young Pei.
And our final negative speaker, following the MUN speaker who just came up. This speaker is from Canada, from St. Margaret's Secondary School, Ines Couder.
Scholars, as the rest of our negative team makes their way up to the stage and affirmative team, can you guys put your hands together, make some noise for all the debate showcase speakers?
And let us move to the middle so we don't block the speakers. That's a terrible thing about that. I'll ask them. Now we must find out who the panelists are who will judge this debate.
These panelists
We'll be
have
sitting in the front row. My
VIP.
apologies to those in the front row. Our first panelist is Aranya Gupta.
And next, Noam Rotem.
Followed by Nathaniel Massi.
And Kareen James Nadika.
Joining them, Makoto Sahashi.
And Mitchell Shearing.
Followed by Emma Johnson.
And next, Spela Gasparet Pejovnik.
As well as Carolina Buffas.
And Kashama Shushi Kulumar.
And next, Jean-Claude Lane.
And Amara Wadi.
And last but definitely not least, Lente Veerman.
Scholars, let's have a round of applause for your entire panel as they assemble here in the front row of the theater. Now, we have an affirmative team. We have a negative team, which we are blocking. And we have a panel of judges.
So-
What do we need?
What are we missing, you guys? It is, in fact, the motion. So, Joga, what is the motion for today's debate?
The motion for today's debate, the 2017 Athens Junior Debate Showcase at this most diverse ever global round, is resolved that we should each be given a single peek at our lives 10 years into the future. Take a moment to think about that one. Debate showcase teams on the stage, you will have 15 minutes to prepare. Audience, remember, you will have an opportunity to share your own ideas. Let the discussions and planning begin.
If there's a chance, I'll take it. And if I can't, ooh, I'll stay here. I ain't got nothing else, no one else. Went for broke, and I broke myself. If there's a chance, I'll take it. The stars, they are shining, they'll start aligning soon. Give me a second, I got this. Soon. Give me a second, I got this. Stay here beside me, we'll do the unlikely soon. Yeah, give me a second, I got this. Soon. Yeah, how you gonna stop this?
All right.
So close, so
Scholars,
close.
everyone else, we are ready for this debate showcase to begin. Just another reminder, all these young scholars up here, they are just like all of you. In fact, they are your teammates. You go to school with them, they are your friends, they are your fellow alpaca parents. Show them the love and encouragement and respect that they deserve as this debate goes on. Please listen intently to them. Think about how you would want the audience to be if you were standing up here. Give them a round of applause as they approach the mic. When they finish their speech, make some noise for them. Just try to give as much encouragement as you guys can, all right? And without further ado, we are ready for speaker number one for the affirmative team. Please introduce yourself, and you may begin.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hagar Saf. I'm from Israel, and today I'm going to be the first speaker of the affirmative team. We strongly believe that we should be giving a single peek of 10 years into our future. So I will start by stating my main point, which is preparation. All our speakers will be talking about, I'll be talking about preparation, our second speaker will be talking about motivation, and our third speaker will be talking about the certainty of prediction. Now, I want to start by showing you all the possibilities we will have if we will be able to look 10 years into our future. Just a few speculations. You can take this wherever you want. So, for example, natural disasters. Let's say we're able to look 10 years into our future and see that there were certain natural disasters because of climate changes and a lot of things going on in our Earth. As we know, we are in a time of a lot of change, and we can predict better like technological developments and moonshots and things that will help us prepare for our future, because our future is never certainty. Now, we can use this for the benefit of humanity, like predicting technological developments and natural disasters and all that stuff, but we could also use it for us, for personal things that we may want to predict about ourselves. So, for example, certain sicknesses, whether it is for you or your loved ones, if we'll be able to look 10 years into our future, we might even see hints of these things, but it'll help us prepare and maybe help us prevent bad things that may happen to us. Now, a lot of personal forecasting isn't just health related. We can predict things about our loved ones and all things that matter to us eventually. We want to stress out that this is a sneak peek into our future. We're not laying out our whole lives in front of us and saying like, this is the path we must go in, this is our lives, this is what it's going to be. We're giving us a sneak peek, just a little hint of what our lives may look like in 10 years. This can benefit not only us personally, but humanity as a whole. It will make us better prepared, help us face our dangers, help us face the things that may hurt us, and help us even prepare for the things that we want to see. For example, if you're a person considering committing suicide, for example, you may be able to look 10 years into your future and see that if you continue living, you may find a better life. Things may change. There are so many ways that predicting 10 years into our future will help us. So I talked today about preparation. So many ways we can prepare for our future by this little sneak peek. Our following speakers will talk about motivation and about the certainty of prediction. Through allowing each of us, giving each of us the possibility, not the certainty. We don't have to do this, but if we give each and every one of us the possibility to take a sneak peek, a little peek into our future, we can make humanity a whole lot better. Follow the paths in life that we want to follow. Change the way we think our lives will be headed. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for kicking this debate off. You guys, one more time, put your hands together for her. We will now give the negative team 1 minute to prepare for their team's first speaker. If we could get some house music up for 1 minute. And we are now ready for the first speaker from the negative team. Can you guys put your hands together for her as she approaches the microphone?
Hello everyone, my name is Urani Moroni and I represent Greece today. So the motion before us today is that we should have the chance to have a little sneak peek into 10 years of our lives in the future. So I would first like to start by defining the word peak, because even though I think our opponents got that quite right, peak for us, we interpreted as look quickly into something. So peeking into our future would mean seeing something really briefly. So I would like to start by rebattling the previous speaker's argument. So what makes you believe that we would have the right sneak peek of our lives? What do you think guarantees us the security of this? Because in our opinion, the risk outweighs the benefits of being able to see the developments of our lives. So let me actually explain that. Imagine someone coming to you and literally spoiling something really, really important of your life. For example, someone could have a very, very serious disease in the future. Someone, even yourself, could happen like something so bad for a natural disaster and you might actually die, and then it's not going to be as motivational for you. So it's not going to be what you would expect to see. What if it's not the right thing to see? And if someone reveals your future, you lose your purpose as a human to explore life and its beauties. You lose excitement for everything around you. You cannot enjoy a weekend with your family. You cannot enjoy a walk in nature because you would constantly think what is going to happen in the next few years, and that may actually really, really bring you, like, smash your emotions completely. Also, you could consider success or failure you might see in the future. Granted, stop working, stop trying to achieve something better for your life. And you just lose your uncontrollable urge as a human to explore, to look into things, to broaden your own horizons, to create a life for yourself, and to be the person you actually want to be only by seeing a perhaps bad development in this entire process of living. And in our opinion, life's magic is living unpredictably, not expecting things, just having surprises. And this is the most important thing for every one of us, to find our own purpose and to be able to fight for what we want to achieve in our lives, not for what we want to fix in some way that we might see into our future. So this would be something very, very important that we need to consider. And really, again, this is a question for you too. Imagine knowing something is really terrible is going to happen in your life. How would you react? How would you take this? How would you keep up with the rest of your life if you have such a bad development in the waits for you? So, again, our team supports that we shouldn't be able to see at all into our future, not even a little bit, because it just might be the wrong thing to see. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, speaker. We will now give the affirmative team a minute to prepare for their team's second speaker. We now welcome up to the center of the stage the second speaker from the affirmative team. Put your hands together for him.
Good afternoon, judges, my teammates, and my worthy opponents. I'm here to say that we should be able to take a sneak peek 10 years into our future. I'd like to first start by rebutting some of the points that my opponents had stated. That she had said that our future is important to us. No, sorry, she said that what if we see something that we don't want? But I'm here to tell you right now that our future is important to us, no matter whether it's right or wrong. We need to see what's going to happen to us so that we know and we can prepare for what we should do to actually prevent or follow the path that we're supposed to follow to see if we are going to make it in our lives and have the lives that we actually want. I'd also like to say that how she had conflicted herself. She had said that we're going to take a sneak peek, but then she had followed it up by saying, what if we see our future and it's going to destroy us? I'd like to say that if we are getting this sneak peek and it's going to show us how we're going to be destroyed, wouldn't it be much better if we follow our own path? This is why I'm here to first to tell you about projection isn't certainty. If you look into our futures 10 years from now, we are going to see ourselves whether in a good position or in a wrong position. And we can follow the road that we must take to get us where we are right now. We have all come to the World Scholars Cup. Some of us are going to go to the Tournament of Champions. And what if we see each other 10 years from now in college, lawyers, doctors, pilots? We need to know which road we're taking. We need to see what our future withholds for us. What is our destiny? Should we follow the road right now? What if we become drug dealers? Our parents won't even be happy for us. They're going to even disown us. We need to do what must be done. When we see something, we learn from it. We will see our future and we shall learn whether we are going to follow our path into greatness, into future, into a whole new world that we wanted for us today, rather than us just sitting down lazily in our parents' basement for 10 years. I do not think that this is something that we need in our life. I'd also like to make an example. I think that we all have loved ones, somebody we hold dear in our hearts. I know I do. I have loved ones, my mom, my little sister, my sister. They're all counting on me today. If I lost one of them, I don't know what I've done. I'd definitely be broken. People have lost their loved ones out there, and I'm so sure they would like to know if they could actually do something to prevent it. I'm coming here today to tell you, people who have lost their loved ones, what if they took this peek 10 years from now? What will they actually see? Will they see a way to actually prevent this from happening, and they would have their loved ones till today? What if they reached up to 100 years, but they died when they were 2 years old? This is not something that we want in our lives. This is something that we need to. I strongly believe we should see 10 years into our future now.
Thank you very much. We will now give the negative team 1 minute to prepare for their second speaker. We are now ready for the second speaker from the negative team. Give him a round of applause.
Honorable judges and fellow scholars, despite the positive attitude and the vibe that the opposition team has shown us today, we still firmly believe that the opposition team has lost this debate automatically the moment they did not paint the big picture and the moment they only relied their case upon the fact that we will see a happy and good, positive future if we take a peek into the future that we live in 10 years later. So before I move on to the rebuttals, I would like to rebuild the arguments that the second speaker of the opposition team has attacked. What if they tried to tell you, when we have stated that a peek of the future might destroy us if it's negative, they have stated that it is better to follow our own path. But ladies and gentlemen, what does the word path mean? Path is when you choose your road and you don't follow the road that other people take, and it's when you discover and create new roads that is only to you. And we believe that this is helping our case because if we look into the future, we are not looking into the path that we will take, but we are looking into the path that we will take, but instead, this is not new and this is not exciting because we know that that we are going to wait for this moment and not actually build this path and find this path before this moment comes. And that is why we believe that their rebuttal falls. Secondly, what if they tried to tell you? They have gave us an example about a person committing suicide might actually reconsider about this act when they know that their future is going to be bright if they take a peek at it. But ladies and gentlemen, what if they don't see themselves in the future? What if they have actually suicided? And what if they see point blank when they look into the future? Then they will know that, oh, I committed suicide within this 10 years. Then this even more encourages them to take suicide. And we believe that this is what essentially caused the detrimental harm to this person. And that is why we believe that this outweighs the argument the opposition team is trying to say today. Secondly, they have stated that we need to help out our loved ones. However, ladies and gentlemen, I love my grandfather. However, he died a few years ago, and if you knew that your loved ones will die after 10 years, then how can you save them? If there's no medical research and if there's no possible way, it will just give you more harm before you even experience the pain of losing a loved one. And this is what we believe completely counters their argument. And now I would like to move on to our third argument, which is about how the person which is about how it will still be detrimental even if the person sees a great future, and how it will still be harmful even if the person sees that their future is dark. So in the first stakeholder, how will this person be damaged and harmed if they know that their future is good? Ladies and gentlemen, if you know that when you grow up, you're going to get money and fame, then will you still work hard in the status quo? We believe that if you know that you're going to be famous and have the money and be successful when you grow up, you won't work hard to actually get into that position, to actually work for that position. On the other hand, we believe that you will wait for that thing and become lazy, and you won't be able to earn it because you are only waiting, expecting that to happen to you while not working for it. And this is what we believe is the harm in today's debate. If people don't earn what they deserve to get, then we believe that they do not deserve to get what they are getting. And that is why we believe that even if that person sees a great future ahead of him, he will not be able to live a great life in the status quo because he will know that he will be famous and he won't work hard to earn for it. Secondly, if that person knows that his future is dark, this is even more obvious why it will be detrimental to that person. If a person knows that the future that lies ahead of him is dark and very bad and very negative, then what will be the passion and what will be the meaning of life to that person? This is what we believe that how even if people know that their future will be good, and even if people know that their future will be bad, it will still be an extreme harm to them. And that is why we firmly believe we take this debate home. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that impassioned speech. Scholars, everyone, we are halfway through with the debaters on stage. A good reminder for you to remember that at the conclusion of the debate, You will have an opportunity to share your own ideas. So if you think of something as the debate goes on, perhaps write it down. Your opportunity will come soon. For now, we give the affirmative team 1 minute to prepare for their third speaker. We welcome to the center of the stage the third speaker from the affirmative team. Make some noise for her as she comes to the microphone. You want to speak from here? Okay.
Good afternoon, honorable adjudicators, friendly audience, respected opponents, and beloved teammates. I am Sofia Malika Joynagoro from Indonesia, Mentari School, Jakarta, and I stand here today to prove to you why we should be given a single peek at our lives 10 years into the future. First, I would like to rebut some of my opponent's points. Your second speaker mentioned that our future wouldn't be new and exciting if we had a sneak peek. Why does the future have to be new and exciting? New and exciting could be filled with drugs, filled with partying. How is that good for us? How is that healthy? Our future should be successful. Our future should be filled with good fortune. Our future shouldn't be filled with useless adventures and life-destroying jobs. And you said that sneak peek could make people kill themselves. How could that be? As my first speaker said, this sneak peek can save lives. This sneak peek could stop people from overdosing on drugs, could stop people from losing hope. This sneak peek future is not certain, which you have neglected. We can change our path. That is the point. It'll help us become better humans, give us better lives. Let's look at Oprah. She had a horrible childhood. She had an abusive childhood. Now she has a publishing empire. She has a successful television show. And the first speaker and the second speaker had contradicting points. The first speaker said that sneak peeks were fleeting, but the second speaker said that sneak peeks were this giant thing that could destroy our lives. Now I would like to move on to my points. The ability to see 10 years into the future, to see a peek, I would like to emphasize, would be so helpful. It would push us, give us drive, help us plan. Let's say that we see 10 years, that 10 years later, at some point, we lollipop. Of course, because of basic human nature, we would try to fix whatever we did wrong. Let's say you get into a college you aren't really excited about, like a college that wasn't really your goal. We would, of course, from this early age, study as hard as possible to get into Stanford, to get into Yale, to get into Oxford University. Why would we settle for our small-town colleges when we can dream big, people? Besides, even if we do make mistakes, that's natural. Everybody makes mistakes here. I mean, nobody here, I guarantee you, got perfect in the bowl, right? If we are not satisfied with whatever we have seen 10 years into the future, it will give us motivation to do better. Let's see, Michael Jordan was kicked out of his high school basketball team. Now he's one of the most famous basketball players in the world. He has these awesome kicks that he made, and he has 5 most valuable player awards. Marilyn Monroe, a gorgeous vixen, was rejected by 20th Century Fox because she wasn't pretty and talented enough to be an actress. Look at where she is now. She has that iconic picture with the white dress, right? Okay, let's see at Abraham Lincoln. He failed at business 3 times. Now where is he at? He freed the slaves. And think about what we could see 10 years into the future. I mean, like, based on the track record of the human race right now, there are terrorist attacks happening everywhere, which is terrifying. And if we see a giant world war in the future, we could work towards peace and collaboration. We could fix worlds easier. If we saw an alien invasion, we could work on collaborating with the aliens to create peace. If we see a big problem, we could start creating ideas towards a better future. We could be the next moonshot architects of our generation. Let's say the country we live in 10 years from now is struggling with food supplies, right? Then create a moonshot that will fix it. You see 10 years into the future, you can do it. This will give us so much more resources, so much more time to plan. If we have a chance to have a head start, use it. As Benjamin Franklin once said, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. When we see something, we learn from it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have had a couple of very, very fiery speakers up here. This is a very hot debate, and it'll continue after we give the negative team 1 minute to prepare for their third speaker. We are now ready for the third speaker from the negative team. Put your hands together for her as she makes her way to the microphone.
Hello, scholars. I'm Ines from Canada. I will go on to my points about malcontentity of the future, but first, a quick rebuttal. The opposition talked about how the future can be filled with good stuff, but the sad evidence of our world is it's filled with pain and suffering. What gives the idea that everyone's future is going to be a happy utopia? And even if it is, does it really add anything to know that your future is good? They say that it adds drive, but humans inherently have passion. And if we know what will happen, it will give us just the opposite. Why would we want to try hard if we know that what we want will already happen? They talked about successful people, but did those successful people see in the future to be successful? No, they had the drive and the power and the pride to succeed, and they did because they believed. The opposition is not engaging with the points we have made, which is what if the future is bad? What if something bad happens? What if you die? Hope is unsubstantial. It's fragile. Isn't it better to live in a world with hope than a world without, where you know that something bad is going to happen tomorrow, but you can still be happy today? Our world is a dark place, and you can never see the big picture. It is our day-to-day moments that really define us, the split-second moments of happiness, of pride, of laughter. As has been demonstrated with one of our literary selections, The Weight of Memories, knowing what will happen, what we experience, without actually experiencing it is no solution. Take the story of Sophie's room. It follows a scientist that has lived in a black and white room all her life. And she learns about color through her life. She knows how the brain processes color, how color wavelengths exist. But she has never seen color. And one day, her computer screen malfunctions and she sees color. Does that add to her knowledge of color? Is seeing color different from learning about it? Here on Side Opposition, we strongly agree that if you just see a peek of your future, there is no knowing how you will feel, what will happen. You need to actually experience it. Humans are wired to see only the bad. What if your friend will die? Do you want to spend the last few years with them looking at the skeleton of themselves, knowing that this is your last moment with them? Or do you want to be able to actually enjoy? What if it's a future that in the future you accept, but in the present it's unthinkable? What if in the future you learn to accept, but now you can't? Humans have perseverance, we have dedication, and only time, only experiencing things can give us that. Humans feel very powerless. Do we need something that creates a vacuum of power? World-changing events happen all around us all the time, and knowing the future isn't going to change that. It's just gonna make us feel worse, make us feel more bad. And even if it's good, it doesn't really add much. The world of our future is out of control. Is it immoral to give humans the illusion of the opposite? For these reasons and the reasons my teammates will state and have stated, this resolution must fall. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We now have just 2 speakers remaining, the final speakers from each of our teams. And we are going to give the affirmative team their last minute of preparation before their team gives their concluding remarks. And now, can you guys put your hands together, make some noise for the 4th and final speaker for our Debate Showcase affirmative team.
Good afternoon, audience, my respected teammates, judges, and my opposition. I'm Lasya Ramakrishnan from Pathways in India, and I would like to start by restating the motion. The motion states that we should be given a sneak peek into our lives 10 years into the future, and my team strongly agrees with this statement. Firstly, we would like to start by defining what exactly a sneak peek is. And this is something that our opposition team has been constantly contradicting themselves with. A sneak peek, they started off by saying, is a very small look into the future. But then they stated that this could change your entire life. This is just a prediction, a projection that is in no way certain. This is the point that we constantly stress on, that this is not a certainty. A projection is something that can and will be changed if we work towards it. If we have a good projection, like the opposition stated, then what gives us the right, what tells us that we will not work more to improve this? If we know that we will become lawyers, doctors, maybe even presidents, why would we not do something that is the best of our ability to reach there? Why would we suddenly go into doing drugs, drinking, slacking off in our schoolwork just because we know that we might have a successful life? If we do not work towards it, then this projection might not even come true. Now, if we do see a future that we do not agree with for some reason, then this motivates us to do more. We will not sit back and relax while we know that our future is at stake. And these are points that my team has constantly been stressing on, that has been overlooked by our opposition team. Now, we brought up the points that predicting and projecting the future can have constant benefits for ourselves. We can fix the things that we don't like, and we can improve them. If something bad has happened in the future, and we know it is going to happen, then why don't we do things now in the present to fix it? Prevention is always better than cure. Why wait till the last minute to fix something that could have been prevented altogether in the first place? We also talked about losing our loved ones and even losing ourselves. The opposition talked about death. If we knew that we are going to commit suicide or die in certain ways, then what tells us that we will not do our best to prevent these things? We all enjoy our lives right now, and even if we don't, why would we end it knowing that there could be some possible ray of sunshine in the future? Some possible way that could have helped us and that will help us, that will save millions of lives if only we had this sneak peek into the future. With that, I would like to conclude that we should be given a sneak peek 10 years into the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And can you guys put your hands together for the affirmative team? That is the last that we will hear from them. We have just our final speaker from the negative team left, and they have 1 minute to prepare for those concluding remarks. All right, and everybody, one more time, put your hands together for our 4th and final speaker of the negative team.
The best way to predict your future is to create it. And we believe that by peeking into your future, you are not creating it. Thus, you are not predicting it. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Prem Basnet, the fourth and last speaker of the negative side that strongly and firmly disagrees to the motion that we should each be given a single peek at our lives 10 years into the future. Now, the opposition talked a lot about motivational things. And life, it's not all about motivation. There's this thing called demotivation, and I think they haven't heard of that. Now, they keep talking about this utopic future, but they all speak about this utopic future, but what about a post-apocalyptic future? Now, you keep talking about the good while we keep talking about the bad. And this peek into the future, all of the risks just outweigh the benefits. Now, the third speaker talked about dreams and how we should dream big. But let me remind you that dreams are different from reality. And the reality is, even if we get to see just a simple peek into our future, everything can collapse and be brought down. As our first speaker has said, life's magic is all about its excitement and unpredictable. And the third speaker also said that life, well, no, there shouldn't be an excitement in our lives. And that is completely wrong. If you watch a movie and you're all excited about it, and your friend who has watched the movie beforehand spoiled you about it, would you like that? This life, this is our movie. And to spoil our own movie, would you like that? Would you like to spoil your own movie? Now, by peeking into our future, we are losing our purpose as human beings. Imagine if you are at a depression state right now, if you feel like suiciding, if you feel so down, and you see the future, and you see that you are gone. You say that you would be motivated. You would be motivated to keep going on, but I say you would want to suicide the next second because you know in the future that you are already dead. And so, by peeking into our future, you say that, it's not definite. But by peeking into our future, it is definite. It has, in a way, already happened, which brings us into this whole mess. It is all messy. It's like Marty McFly. He travels to the future with Doc, and it all goes into this big mess. And I don't want a big mess. Now our lives are like bubbles. Now these bubbles, they might last a long time, but they can easily pop and be gone. And by looking into our future, that is almost a certainty that this bubble, this life is gonna pop very easily. So, I would like to end my debate by asking you this one question. Would you want to spend a portion of your life expecting the best, but being dealt with the worst? With all that said, thank you.
Thank you very much, scholars, audience, everybody. It is always a true joy for us at our global rounds to see a truly international group come up here and lead us all in what today was a very passionate and very well-scripted debate. Before we move to the next part, can you guys one more time put your hands together for these fine young scholars up here on the stage? We are done with this part of the debate, the actual debate of these scholars on the stage, but we are not done with this debate showcase. What will happen next is our panelists who have been taking notes down here in the front row, they will be leaving the theater. They will go to a secluded, secure area where they will be able to deliberate and ultimately decide who the winning team was in this debate showcase. Panelists, please make your way out following Albert. Go ahead, put your hands together for the panelists as they go off on their journey. While the panelists are deliberating, discussing, deciding, we will be allowing you as audience members, as fellow scholars, as part of our bigger community, to join this discussion, to share your own ideas, and to keep this conversation going about our debate topic. Now, just very, very quickly, a couple quick guidelines.
The most important thing in this segment of the debate showcase is that when you volunteer to share your thoughts, they not be attacks on or remarks on any specific speakers on stage. The idea here is that you will share your ideas, that you will offer us up to 30 seconds, provided the clock works, of your own thoughts on the motion, whether they support the affirmative or the negative, or maybe present a perspective that has not been shared yet. So, let's keep those comments concise, clear, and I hope illuminating, a chance for you to add your voice to this community. Who would like to be the first person to speak?
And scholars, before you do share whatever it is that you would like to, please introduce yourself. Tell us your name, tell us your school, tell us your country.
Let's begin right here with someone wearing an Athens t-shirt.
Hello, my name is Besma. I'm representing the UAE from El Ittihad School. I support both teams equally, but I would like to cover the fact that a sneak peek is like a very short time. It could only be like a picture as well. Like imagine if you're opening a box, taking a peek into it, or a movie sneak peek, or a song sneak peek. It's a very small, and you can't see everything, so it isn't really stable. And another example is Pandora's box. When she wanted to take a sneak peek into the box, it resulted into a disaster. So I also believe that we shouldn't.
Thank you very much for that contribution. We must move on to the next scholar.
I believe that only like the final speaker for the negative team really talked about this, is that you can't really change your future because it already happened. And once it happened, you can't change it. So if you look in the future and you realize that, okay, this is going to happen, you can't change it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over here we have a student I saw there. All right, you get to go.
My name is Anna from Switzerland, and I just want to say that it's part of the human condition, and it's part of our human nature to always look for the negative and to be pessimistic. So even if you look into your future and see something good, like you got into a university, you will still see things that you're unhappy with, like you're not friends with the same people, or you didn't get the same results that you wanted. So it will still be, like you'll still be unhappy about some things.
Thank you very much. Well, now down here to the very front middle.
Okay, my name is Tom. I'm from Israel, from Rashid Junior High. Okay, before the debate, I supported the affirmative side, but as the debate continued, I found that I agree more with the negative side. I thought about the example of Marty McFly. It was stated in the debate, and I think this was a great example. Maybe they should talk about it a bit more.
Thank you. We'll come to this gentleman with the aqua blue, Jerry.
Hello everyone, my name's Lee from Canada International School, Bangalore, India. And I wanted to say that you have to divide the future between Newton physics and quantum physics. In Newton physics, your future is decided. You can't do anything to change it. In quantum physics, it's a random chance. You make your future. I guess your points contradicted in this debate, and thank you.
Thank you. A quick note to the audience. I know we all have a lot to say. We'll get to quite a few remarks, but while a student is speaking, please do attempt to give them the attention you would give any speaker in the debate showcase. Let's give them the peace to share their thoughts. Chauncey, let's get someone from your side and maybe higher up on your side as well in the future.
Hey everyone, my name is Nazarene Charliza Castillo from Philippine School Brain, of course representing Brain. This is my thought ever since the debate has started, and this is for the negative team. Like this, our future could change with just one choice that we can make. So that if we have a sneak peek of the future, maybe that might change because of one thing that we might do in the future or maybe after a few seconds. So yeah.
Thank you very much. We have a young scholar down here in the front. Please stand up, tell us your name, your school, your country.
My name is Mikhail Palmov from St. George International School and Preschool from Bulgaria, and I would like to say something very important about the timeline. Every time someone makes an important decision, his timeline splits into two. For example, the suicide example they mentioned quite a few times. The person can decide either to commit suicide or not to, and the sneak peek will be one of those. Either a place in a timeline where he is dead or one where he is alive. So the sneak peek is not a sneak peek of the future, but of the choice he has.
Thank you very much.
We have a student up here.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Arna Dikshit from Greenwood High, Bangalore, India. I just want to quote something Jay Asher said. You cannot rewind the past. You cannot stop the future. The only way to learn the secret is to press play.
All right, and next, another scholar with an aqua blue jerry. Go ahead, please stand up.
Okay, I'm Nawa Mukini from Kenya, BGE. There was something you guys were saying about some, like, sneak peek into your future. I'm asking if, like, you're looking into the future, but, like, there was, like, this theory of a paradox. Like, which future are you looking at? Because you make lots of decisions, and like they may lead you to some other choices. So you might be looking at one choice that you took and didn't make.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll go to the young man in white right here.
Hello. Hello, my name is William. I'm from Greece, from the Moretti School. And I wanted to state something. First of all, there was a constant misconception about how the future works. Even if free will does exist, then because timeline is linear by definition, then your future is determined by your current actions. Therefore, when you look into the future, you cannot change the future in general because you saw into the future, and whatever actions you take, it is going to result there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We have a scholar with a purple jerry up here.
First, I want to talk about the concept of time. It said that time is like a river that can change any way. And also, when you try to change time, usually something worse can come to existence, like the show The Flash. When he tried to save Iris, he almost died himself.
All right, thank you for that. And down here, a scholar with a shirt that says love, 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 love.
Hello, my name is Akasia. I'm from Bulgaria, from private school Svetlina. And I'd just like to say that the positive team talked about uncertainty. The negative team could have counter-argued by saying that our future is determined by our attributes, like laziness, being studious, etc. And our future in 10 years is determined on how it would happen if people stayed as they currently are. But people change, therefore changing their future. What if you end up preparing for a death that will never happen or an opportunity you will never have? Thank you.
Thank you. Chauncey, are there any scholars over there in that side of the theater?
Yes, there are many.
So I am Kevin from representing Canada. I would just like to
point out an example the negative team could have used to counter the affirmative team. So, for example, the grandfather paradox, it deals with like how if you want to change the future, it can end up making it even worse in a mess.
All right, thank you.
Our next speaker is from up here in the rafters. We have a volunteer.
I'm Ashley from Australia, and I just want to mention that what if this person saw into their future and didn't like it? They may then kill themselves, but because they changed their future, what about someone else? Everybody's lives are interlocked. Someone may have not liked their future and they change it. Then that will instantly change somebody else's.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And back here we have a scholar who had several Jerry's stacked up, including a Skittles.
I am Parthiv from Bahrain, and I wanted to address this one point, suicide, which both sides had addressed. I just want to say that if you see 10 years in the future, even if you don't like it, you like it, I think you wouldn't commit suicide anyways, because 10 years later, you're alive. The future won't change, whatever happens. I think the best case, you'll just be mentally prepared. Thank you.
All right, we got some more scholars down here.
Hello, my name is Arai. I represent Kazakhstan Spectrum International School. I support the negative team because I'm going to make a quick reference to the Flash. It's because Barry was actually thrust into the future, and then he tried doing something that would never actually exist by killing Iris, because Iris never got killed, and he made the timeline even worse than ever. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. Scholars, once again, just a gentle reminder. I know there's much excitement. Many of you want your chance to get on the microphone, but it is very difficult to hear those who are trying to share when there is so much excitement. Try to contain it a bit. And we'll go down here to this gentleman next to me.
So I felt that no one on any of the teams defined exactly what the future is, because like if you peek into the future and the future is defined as just like a destiny, something that's going to happen no matter what you do, like even now, even if you see it, like if it's nothing you can't change, then there's really no point looking into the future, because it's just something you can't even change. So no matter what you do, you're going to end up right there.
Daniel, anyone up there with you?
I do think this is a moment when perhaps we should find a comment from the teachers or the adults who are a little further in the future of their lives. Do any teachers here on the second floor have thoughts they would like to share?
Okay, I am a parent from Pristine Private School, Dubai. Life is fragile, and in every part of the fragility of life is there are different seasons in life. So basically, it depends on what season you would like to see in your life, whether you want to see the seasons about spring, winter, or summer, or what's the other one? Autumn. All right, thank you.
Hi, my name is Friska. I'm from Mentari, Jakarta. All right, as I understand, the motion will be that each of us should take a pic of the 10 years in our future. But for me, the word should is kind of a pressure. It's kind of like everyone have to. That is not a good idea. I would prefer it will be given a chance or opportunity rather than should.
We have another teacher up here in the back of the middle row.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
I think having a glimpse of the future is very important because we should live in the future of our lives. Why are we being pessimistic? Why are we scared of the future? Why are we thinking of the negative about the future only? The future out there could be bright, brighter than what you have now, what you think now. All we have to do, what we're doing here today, is having a glimpse into the future. We're looking into our future right now by being the world's scholars. We're trying to empower ourselves. We're trying to build our social capital so that in future we have a better future. Thank you.
Thank you. And scholars, we know there are many, many of you who have wonderful ideas to share. You are a very bright community. However, we must move on to the next part of our debate showcase. Before we do that, give yourselves a round of applause for the wonderful ideas, the great thought and discussion we've had here. But now it is time for our panelists to join us once again. They're already back here. Can you guys give them a round of applause? Make some noise as they come up on the stage to join us.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's up to 3 spokespeople for the panel with 30 seconds each.
That is indeed. We will start with our first, if KK could rejoin us here.
KK.
All right, so our panelists are going to give some brief feedback. The timers are on the screens there. You can see up here in the front also. Try to keep your speeches within that 30-second timeline.
Okay, wow, this is a big stage. So, overall, good debate for both sides. And today, we're going to be saying it in order. I'll be talking about the affirmative team. My friend here will be talking about the negative. And finally, we'll talk about the overall structure of the debate. So overall, the affirmative team, what made you guys special was power. The volume, the drive, and the passion in the way you speak really made it stand out among the rest. But what we'd like to recommend is for you to have a better organization in your points, to structurize your rebuttals, and just be careful not to contradict yourself. But overall, each one of you was able to give your best, give that voice and power, and great work.
Okay, it's a really big timer right there. Okay. Is it going to start when I... okay, fine. Okay. So I'm going to be talking a bit about the negative team. Hello. I'll start with some of the criticisms. They're not bad. But then, so we figured that it sounded kind of like, and it was in both teams, instead of like a shared mindset where we could hear similar points that agreed with each other, it sounded a bit repetitive, but we thought that you guys really had those power points. And then just quickly with what you could aim to do, and what we really liked, those rebuttals, the things you picked up on, it showed that you were really listening to the other team and could really think on your feet, so we award that a lot. Thank you.
To summarize this debate in general, it was a very passionate debate with concrete arguments. The cases clashed, which is, of course, really good. But something that an early judge analysis showed was that there were multiple other fronts that the teams could address, such as why only one time for this prediction and why specifically 10 years in the future, which could have made it a much more interesting debate, but it was still a very interesting debate. So thank you for that.
And the winner is...
Drum roll, please.
The negative team!
All right. As per World Scholars Cup tradition, we do ask both teams to please cross the stage and shake hands in congratulations. And one more time, you guys, put your hands together, make some noise for all the scholars up here on the stage.
I don't know if I'm going to heaven, or if all my sins, they're too much to let me in. And I lost my only chance at redemption. But the stars I see them shining, and I know they'll start aligning. Would you mind just this time stay here beside me, beside me? The stars, they are shining.